Getting started with deep space astrophotography, any advice will be welcome.
First real bit of advice, your camera doesn't fucking matter. Second piece of advice, the only thing that actually does matter is your German equatorial mount, the one that you haven't bought yet, but you're gonna start saving for and buy eventually. So you're gonna start taking really long photos of the night sky to do deep sky astrophotography. And those long exposures will require that you hold the stars perfectly still for however long it takes. 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I know what you're about to ask right now. Which mount should I be buying? And while it does matter, it also doesn't matter. What you really should be thinking about is what mounts not to buy. Don't buy the ones that have crazy periodic error. And when I say crazy periodic error, I'm talking 15 to 30 arc seconds peak to peak. You want one that's gonna support ASCOM computer control. You also want a mount that's gonna have enough weight capacity to carry everything that you have and everything that you plan on using in the future. The hobby of deep space astrophotography is a lot like training for a marathon. It's going to take a long time to get really good at it, but if you buy the right shoes at the beginning and it costs you a lot of money, it'll save you a ton of headache and grief, and eventually even long-term money, because you won't be buying different types of training shoes when you find out that the ones you bought in the beginning were the wrong shoes to train with. So, buying the correct German equatorial mount at the onset of getting into this hobby is going to make your life a lot easier, and in the long run, a fuckload lot cheaper. Anybody else who starts giving you advice on like what camera to get or what telescope to use, they're not even addressing the root of the problem. None of that shit matters on a bad mount, and it doesn't matter to start telling you what telescope to buy or what camera to use if they don't even know what type of deep sky you want to do. Are you doing emission nebula? Are you doing reflection nebula? Are you doing broadband targets like galaxies? Those all play a factor, but the mount is the common denominator and the most important part.